since Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're live.
Okay, you've been in since Tuesday. That's fantastic, man. So how does it like being a homeowner? What's broken? What do you got to fix already?
Nothing too much, honestly. It's a pretty new house. It's a 2015.
Oh.
So nothing is quite broken. Actually, we're having some problems with the fridge. We might have to replace that. But yeah. But aside from that, I mean, I'm really happy, and it's not crazy big, but it'll be enough if we want like a kid or something.
Just a kid or something. He's like, a kid or a goldfish.
Where are you getting a kid or a dog?
Okay, can you educate all of us for why? By the way, guys, Tanner is filling in for Chris, and he's also filling in tomorrow and Thursday.
Yeah, they couldn't tell.
I'm letting Tanner know right now he's filling in tomorrow and Thursday.
He didn't mention Banks one yet.
If he can make it tomorrow and Thursday.
So yeah, so hide your kids, hide your favorite positions, because Tanner's gonna shit on them all week.
Tanner, why'd you buy a new house at 25?
Because he's smart.
So we had the money. That was one. My girlfriend got quite a large promotion, so we wanted to go in on it 50-50. So that was part of it. So we wanted ownership. We didn't want to just rent. So we got a place. It's close to home. I'm very close to family. 1,500 square feet. Nothing crazy. But it's the start. That's
Tanner. Haven't you heard about the impending real estate collapse? Aren't you worried?
I'm not worried.
There you go.
I mean, it can happen. I'm not going to see it.
Are you selling this
year? Over
Tanner?
and done before I'm out.
Selling this year or next year if it goes down?
No.
There you go.
No.
How
Honestly,
much?
I'm super happy. Hello from Toronto as well.
Compared to the value of your home, did you overpay? Was it priced reasonably? How was the market where you bought it?
I think I paid a fair price. Okay,
right. You want to tell us some details?
I paid $850,000.
Single family, two family.
It's a semi-detached, so I got a neighbor,
side. Right?
But just on the one side.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know. What do you want to know?
What's the lot size?
I honestly I wouldn't even know.
Well, like, do you have an expansive front yard and a backyard? You have parking?
Yeah,
garage?
I mean, yeah, I've got like it's kind of weird. It's just a long driveway, enough for two.
Yeah, Tanner, what's your social?
Two cars. But then the way they did the landscaping is there's enough to put another car on the landscaping. So it's technically 3 cars, I'd say, and then a 1 garage, but we don't park in it. It's just full of crap that we don't want right now.
How close are you to the city?
About 45 minutes.
Okay, so it's a suburb, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So you paid $630,000 US dollars, 850 Canadian.
$630,000 US dollars. What's the
he didn't use real money when he bought it.
yeah, it's Canadian money.
$5 million dance dollars.
Monopoly money.
What's the neighborhood walkability score, and what are the schools like in that area for this kid or something that you might have maybe?
Like so amazing. 10 out of 10 on those levels.
It's great. That's great.
Smart.
Great. So there's a park down the street. Nice, like just for our subdivision, nice water park and everything. It's freaking amazing. And I went there the other day, like I think it was on a Sunday or something. There must have been 40 kids there, just absolutely packed. So the neighborhood is really, really young. And they're all new schools around. It's all brand new, honestly. It's all like 2015, so it's really young area.
Sounds good. One mistake I made. I wasn't thinking about kids, but when I bought my house, I wasn't even married, first of all. But in Jersey City, the area we lived, even though the houses were appreciating, I couldn't send my kids to any good schools, so we had to do basically all private, which became completely expensive. So it was worth moving away from there and going somewhere else to find a place where there are good schools. So if you're going to have kids, that's smart of you to just find a good place
to know what the neighborhood is. So the real question is, so in the guest room that I'm going to be staying in, do I have my own bathroom, or am I going to have to get an Airbnb, or can I give you a 1-star review?
No, 3 bed, 3 bath. So you're good.
That's great. 1,500 square
nice.
feet.
3 bed, 3 bath. Look at this guy. This guy's
bath.
living large.
Yeah.
While a business owner is still living in the basement of his parents' house.
So this is technically a bedroom that I'm in as well right now.
So, Amit, when you see someone who's roughly the same age as you, who's moving on with the milestones of life, he's purchasing a home, he's being responsible, he's got a
woman,
long-time girlfriend, his woman makes money, if you can believe that, and they're talking about maybe having potential offspring. How does that land on you? How does that make you feel?
That's such a terrible thing to say.
How do you feel about
feel any of that
Amit?
social pressure?
I feel like I should go find a bridge. And I should.
No, but I'm curious. Are you at all sort of like, oh, maybe I should be doing some of this?
No,
Are you thinking
look,
that at all?
No, well, first of all, you know, I mean, I've talked kind of publicly about this, but I have two parents at home. I love those parents, and they are sick. You know, they've been sick for the past couple of months now. So, right. I mean, even if I could afford my own home, which if I really wanted to, and in terms of getting the down payment and all that stuff, I think I could. Right. If it's investment property, even if I house hacked it or lived in it, I would not want to be away from my parents right now. So, you know, Tanner is a different situation. So, I'm fine to be here.
I'm partially joking, but that is something that does move people towards that when you start seeing your friends do this. I mean, even for me, right? Yeah. When I moved to LA, 37 years old, I was living in a great apartment building. I loved it, but I'm like, I'm 37 years old, man. Like, I got to get into a house. And I remember going on a date with a chick who said to me something like, no women are going to take any men seriously who don't have their own home. And it like on a first date, she said that to me. And I was like, there's something to that. So there's a bit of that social pressure that moves you on that, even though it's absolutely.
This date is over.
I was like, yeah, I was like, you're done. but it does. There is something to that.
That was my Dave Chappelle, by the way. Just FYI, that slap.
I'm sorry, Scott. You bring up Scott Killing. Everyone gets their.
Look what you did, Carlos. You made 32-year-olds feel bad now.
You're living in your parents' basement.
Hey, listen, if you're 32 and you don't have a house, it is time to consider seriously finding a house. Yeah, it is that time. You're not too late, but you shouldn't be waiting till you're 40 or 45. That's you're letting. Real estate market's going to keep going up, fellas. I don't know what you guys think. Even if there's some sort of correction, it's going to keep going up because people want to, like Tanner, want to live in nice places. And when they get some money in their pockets, they're going to buy some nice places. And they're going to keep...
What do you think Tanner's next house is going to look like?
A fucking mansion.
What's your
next house?
But the other thing about it...
All those SoFi gains, man.
The two things to consider are this. The earlier that you start home owning, the more time of your life you're spent putting that money into equity in an asset that you own. That's the first bit of it, right? The other thing that another friend of mine said when he bought his home, he was racing to buy his home before 35. He was just racing. He was like in his early 30s, just like Scott. And I was like, why are you racing so hard? And he's like, look, the average age of retirement is 65. So if you don't have a 30-year mortgage somewhere before you're 35, then you're going to be paying a mortgage still when you reach the age of average retirement. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. And that was another thing too, that when I was getting close to 40, I was like, this now puts me at 70 years old, still paying off this home if I don't pay it off sooner. So
that's actually, I've never thought of it that way. I just always knew, even as a 20-year-old, I had to have my own house because but the way you put it is perfect because yes, if you actually want to retire at a reasonable age, 65, with no at 35, you better have that house. Like, absolutely. So whoever said that at 32, you got 3 years. You got 3
years. You got 3 years. But it could take 3 years to find it, you know?
Let me ask you two questions that are kind of concerning the audience, and then we'll move on to all the crypto news today. So two things. First one is
I'm enjoying this one.
Yeah, what happens if you and your girlfriend break up because you're not married? So that's the first one. And did that at all play a role in the decision? And second of all, I don't know how much you put down. I'll just guess you and your girlfriend put like $200K down. Is there any thought of like, yo, if we put $200K down and we opened up a Tim Hortons franchise or something, just giving you an example, a cash flowing business that is, we could reasonably pay off in some time and we're actually
going to live while he's
hold on, let him answer it.
Yeah,
what do you think that is an idea you thought of, or the house and ownership, that was all you cared about?
Yeah, no, honestly. So yeah, I mean, if my girlfriend and I break up, we're just going to sell it completely and split it down the middle. We brought it up multiple times, both with the lawyer. I don't want any sort of problems or control. I just want 50-50. So we're just going to split both ways and go. And then on the next, your next question, I mean, yeah, I don't want a Tim Hortons perhaps, but in the markets, obviously, I have a lot of money in the markets. That's been my bread and butter. But then literally part of the reason why I bought this house was a Peter Lynch book One Up on Wall Street, where he says in like the first chapter, if you don't have house ownership, then you shouldn't be investing in the stocks. That's much more important. It is the biggest separator of wealth in America. So I forget what the level is, like the average homeowner to the average renter, and what their savings is over time, but it's something crazy, like 70 times higher. And so it was a hit to my portfolio. I did actually make my entire down payment with house gains, which was quite exciting. But that being said, it's just something that I'm going to have to barrel through. I needed this as part of just the overall portfolio whenever I die, or like whenever I retire.
I do want to point out that even if he overpaid, by the way, he has to live somewhere. So imagine he's renting. How much is a rental? I'm curious in your area that you're looking at, just a monthly rental.
Honestly, I wouldn't know. Like
$2,500.
Well, a 3-bed. Forget about even 3-bed, 3-bath.
For this whole place, yeah, it'd probably be $3,000.
Okay, so $3,000 times 12, that's 36,000. That every year, it's not to him. So that's a big thing you got to consider. Even if you're overpaying for yourself in the future.
And Vitaly, you agree that instead of opening up a franchise, he should definitely get equity on a house.
Oh yeah, if you don't have a house, in fact, I'm glad he brought up Peter Lynch. Exactly. So home ownership is one of those things that really will determine how wealthy you are in the future. Because if you can wait it out, I've never met anyone around at least my areas. Yeah, I'm talking about New Jersey, New York, that's lost money in real estate who's actually held it for longer than 6 months. I've never met anybody. No joke. No one. 0 people. So I think it's just a matter of time that Tanner is just a multimillionaire from his property.
Well, I don't know about a multimillionaire, but
if it's 850,000 right now,
like
you think in 30 years it's not multi-millions of dollars?
No, I mean potentially. I don't know what the rate of return I'm going to get on it, and I'm not really thinking about it. And then you also have to remember, I only own 50% of it, so I don't have an $850,000 house.
No. If you do get married, though, you can't think of it. I own 50%. If you are planning kids and all that, it's both of yours. That's it.
Right.
You know?
Yep. It's an asset for the family. The other thing to consider is,
and it's for your kids.
When you're trying to compare, say, opening up a franchise to have the cash flow. To Vitaly's point, you still need to live. So unless you're making more money than what the business is making, plus the cost that you're paying to rent and pay mortgage for someone else's, you're not actually making any money. You're actually bleeding into your own gains by paying a portion of your income to someone else. You're paying a mortgage regardless. This is the thing. You're paying someone's mortgage. It might as well be your own. So my question for you is, does Canada have any of these like FHA programs where you don't have to put 20% down, or you had to put the full 20% down?
So we're allowed to go as low as 5%. We don't have it. I'm pretty sure FHA is 3%. If I don't,
3%, yeah.
Okay.
And Zillow's offering 1% loans now. That
only in Alabama.
But
Arizona,
no, but they're talking about doing a federal program to allow people
crazy.
to buy homes for 1% down. That's going to be ridiculous. But continue, Tanner.
I got extremely lucky with the interest rate. I work for a financial institution, so this played a great part. I'm not going to say what the interest rate was, but it was very, very good.
I called Anthony Noto and I was like, bruh, you see all my fucking videos, man? What's up with 1%?
Yeah. But that being said, I did have to put down a sizable amount of down payment for them to want to do the deal.
What companies did you sell to put the down payment on?
Mainly just a portfolio cut. I did close a couple of positions, but I'm not gonna say.
It was so fun.
He's saying no comment.
It was fucking in video and it ran to 470. He's like, "Fuck this! I'm buying a house. I'm out of it."
I have not sold a share of Nvidia in the last like year and a half.
Smart guy here.
For that. Wow.
I sold all my Nvidia too early.